So I've just started a second D&D campaign with Victory Fist as the DM, doing Curse of Strahd. So I've got a bunch of dice I can use that I'll figure out what combination I'm going to use. I've come up with a fancy little prayer book here. Let's take a look at this. It's basically got the symbol of my god on the front, and then pretty much every spell I need to know and all the things that I can do. But if you're gonna have a spell book, then you also need components. So I'm actually going to attempt to recreate or to make or to craft all of the spell components that I need for my level 1 and 2 Cleric spells. So we're going to have to go out, we're going to have to buy some stuff, we're going to have to go rummage around and source some other things. And then let's see what we can make. Alright, so we're back from Look Sharp, which is like a miscellaneous sort of crafty type store with most of the stuff we need. So there is a makeup mirror, a bunch of glitters, a bunch of little glass jars, in fact a dozen of them. We've also got some feathers. Oh, I overthrew those into the sink. Some feathers, a little mustache ring, and then a shower cap. How's it all gonna work? Let's find out. So we've got all of these items that we just bought. I've also got some ones that I've brought from the grocery store. Some food coloring, some pepper, and a bunch of other stuff I have around the house. And the first thing is these little glass jars. They're the most important part of the whole thing. Now here you're asking, why'd you buy a shower cap? That's not very cleric of you. Well, you see, you take the cap off, you hold the shower cap, and you go. And now, you have a lovely little component pouch to hold all of these things you're making. Oh, small silver mirror. Done! Pair of platinum rings. Now you might have been questioning why I had the mustache, right? So I'm going to come all the way up to it. And now the mustache is useless. But we're left with two little rings. So now we have our two platinum rings. We're getting all the easy ones out of the way because we've also got enhanced ability here, right? And for that, we've just bought on some feathers. Nice and easy. It calls for fur or feathers from a beast. Well, these match because I'm a hill dwarf, so they're from a bird up in the mountains, probably a giant eagle or something like that. Boom. Here's a bunch of feathers, and the feathers, they go into the component pouch. Now we get to the making. That means I'm going to move the camera closer. So for all of these, I'm going to use just a little plastic container for mixing, and we're going to put them into a glass vial each. So first up, ruby dust. It's worth like 15 gold, and my DMs told me I've got enough to cast the spell once. So we got some red glitter, which is going to be the start of our ruby dust, but that just looks like red glitter, right? So I'm going to add a kitchen item. I said I had some of these. I'm going to add some paprika. Alright, I'm going to just sprinkle a little bit of that in. Just a little bit of that. Which sort of gives it a different tone. And then we're just going to shake the two together. You know, the chunkier paprika helps it all stick together, while the red from the glitter still makes it shine. So we're going to put this in here. I only got enough to cast the spell once, so I don't need to make a lot of it. And voila! We now have some ruby dust. Now, next up to make, we've got this bad boy. And we're going to put in it some salt. Being a regular human being, I have salt just laying around my house. Spoon it in, pretty much. from here. Doesn't matter if we spill any with this, unlike the ruby dust. Put that all in there. That looks like enough salt. Where's the cork stop? Bung in the cork stop. Boom, and now we've got our little salt. And when you want to use it, you pop it open, you take your pinch, boom, you cast your spell. I hear you say, salt! That's too easy! So I'm going to one-up you here, right? I'm going to do water. Because in the create water spell, it requires a drop of water. I overfilled that. That was stupid of me. That was stupid. And there we go. We've got our little drop of water. Up next is a special thing. Alright? It's holy water. It's holy water. I know it looks a lot like regular water, so just to differentiate, we're going to use our little blue food colouring here. A little blue. Just a little blue. And now we've got a nice jug of blue water here, and we're going to fill up our little tube. Put the cork stop in, and now we've got some lovely holy water. Alright, it is time to bring our little container back. Now this time we're not going to be using paprika, because we're going to be creating powdered silver and iron. We're going to put a little bit of silver glitter in here. Now I've also got some ground white pepper. And now you're going, why are you using pepper? Well, I used paprika in the earlier one. Can't see it too well, you might be able to see it better when it gets in the container. But she's a little irony coloured. Okay? Now along with this silver glitter, the pack of glitter I bought actually had this lovely white glitter. A little bit of white sparkle in there. And now the answer is, that just looks a lot like pepper. Yes, I put way too much pepper in there. So we're going to have to even that out with more glitter. So now that, to me, looks like there's the sparkles in there. Oh, the lighting is so bad here. The sparkles in there from the silver, as well as having the powdered iron in there. And we're going to fill this bad boy up. Put the stopper in. There is our powdered iron and silver. Alright, so next up is probably the most fun one. We're gonna make a little bit of fake blood. So first off, we're gonna need a little bit of water to start off our little mix here. And we're not gonna be using cornstarch because I didn't have that around the house. We're gonna be using icing sugar, also known as powdered sugar. Usually it's made on a lot bigger scale than we're making here, so we're gonna have to guess a lot of the measurements. So basically put it in, mix it around until it becomes a little bit thicker. You don't want it too thick, but you don't want it also way too just watery. Now before it gets too thick, we have to switch out to a second ingredient. Now the red food colouring does make it red, but the cocoa powder makes it a darker red, a more believable red. So we're going to add a little bit of red food colouring. We're going to put a little bit in here. Boop, boop, boop. Boop, boop, boop. But as we all know, blood's not that colour. That's just way too red. So once we mix that in, we're also going to get a little bit of, oh, spilt it, a little bit of cocoa. We're going to sprinkle that off on the top and mix that in. There we go. You can see all the clumps from the stuff I haven't mixed in properly. But you can also see the dark, there we go, darker red blood mixture. So I'm going to put it into the vial. It's a little bit runny at the moment, our lovely red cocoa and icing sugar mix right in there. This lovely little vial of blood. So basically, we have to make tea in here. But I don't have tea, so once again, I'm making a substitution, and we're instead going to be making coffee. So you put your hot water, and usually you'd now put your tea bag in there. But instead, we're going to get a little bit of coffee. Boom. And hope it does the job just like tea would. With this, we shall create our parchment with holy text on it. So I've pre-prepared a piece of paper here. This is going to be my parchment. And I'm going to write the holy text on it afterwards, just so the ink doesn't seep out. So we just place it as so in here. And then push it down in so that it is sitting underneath the liquid, and you're done. You've just got to wait a little while. I have a tree just outside my house, and I'm sure one of these can be a forked twig. It's not going to be hard, you just got to find a nice branch. I've spied another one. This one I can hopefully reach. And we're going to just borrow it from nature. I'm sorry, tree. Yes, I should have brought scissors. And now we have our forked twig. We don't need this one. We don't need this one either. Forked twig. Ready to go straight into our component pouch. Our parchment sitting here. If we leave it for too long, the paper will just soak away and become nothingness. So we're going to lay down some paper towels here. There we go. Oh. Critical mass. We've got the paper out. Splotch this guy on top. Press it down firmly. Now, to help it speed along in its process, I'm going to go put it in the microwave for 30 seconds. So 30 seconds later, we have our crumpled piece of parchment. Now you can write whatever you want on here, so the spell just requires a small piece of parchment with some holy words or some holy text. And I have ye olde marker, some holy text, and now we have parchment with holy text on it. Now we can go outside, we can go try and fetch our sand and our yew leaves. Hopefully I can find whatever a yew tree is. I don't even know what it is, but we'll figure it out. So we're here at lovely Castor Bay here in Auckland, and right here at my feet is some lovely sand. So we're just going to scoop that on up, like so, push that in there, and now we've got some lovely sand. So we're going to go into Centennial Park. I've been told we don't have yew trees, so I'm going to try and find something that's close enough. Alright, so we've got this tree here that's down on the side, and although it doesn't look a lot like a yew, its leaves do look quite a bit like them. So we're just going to grab here and then hopefully pull. Alright, here we go. So we just stripped a few branches and put them on in here for our last ingredient. So here are the spell components that I'm going to use in my D&D campaign as a Cleric. Hopefully you enjoyed watching me make some of this stuff. It was good fun for me. I'm hoping to get into a bit more prop making in the future, so you know, potluck, guess what the next video on this channel is going to be. But until then, goodbye.